Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh, Shai, Bahashem, Makakadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Rulewell, and Shalom to the Akim that are teaching this word around the globe with faith and truth and sincerity. I am the brother Caleb from the Gym Islam, the Forecasters Camp, coming back at you with another lesson to edify the Lord's elect. So, I always like to start by saying that we are the real Hebrew Israelites. The real Israelites, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, and West Africans predominantly. However, you will find Israelites that do look like the other nations because we as a people have been scattered amongst all nations throughout our various captivities. But if your seed line by your forefathers goes back to the man in the Bible that was named Israel, then you too are an Israelite no matter what you may look like, because the book of Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18 states that your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. And once again, to clarify, the names that we give reverence unto are Yahweh, which is the one true name of the God of the Bible. His name is Yahweh, which means he is or he exists. And his son's name is Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew, the one that the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai, which means he saves or he delivers. Okay? So I'm going to go into the little article here. This was published a few days ago on the 29th of January. Let me just check the date today. It's the 31st, I believe. That's not one. Calendar. Yeah, we're on the 31st of January. So this is published on Saturday. I was going to read it at the camp, but I didn't get a chance to. So this is from BBC News. It says, Ukraine crisis. Russian attack would be horrific, US warns. It says General Mark Milley said a Russian invasion of Ukraine would be horrific. So it says top US General Mark Milley has said the Russian invasion of the Ukraine would be horrific and would lead to a significant number of casualties. See, we've got World War III stirring up right here. We're just at the end of January 2022, and as the apostles have coined this year, it's the year of turning up. And the Cold War that's been going on between America and Russia for the longest time is now beginning to heat up. So it says, General Milley described the buildup of 100,000 Russian troops near Ukraine's border as the largest since the Cold War. But US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said a conflict could still be avoided through the use of diplomacy. Well, I'm going to correct you, Mr. Secretary Lloyd Austin. Conflict cannot be avoided through the use of diplomacy because guess what? It's the will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai for you nations to go to war. So no diplomacy is going to deliver you from the prophecy, because as the scriptures say, the word of the Lord shall accomplish the thing whereunto he sends it, and it shall not return unto him void, roughly paraphrasing. It says Russia denies plans to invade and says United States support for Ukraine is a threat. At a news conference at the Pentagon on Friday, General Milley, US President Joe Biden's most senior military officer, warned that the scale of Russia's forces near its border with Ukraine meant an attack would have severe consequences. If that was unleashed on Ukraine, it would be significant, very significant, and it would result in a significant amount of casualties, said the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff. Fighting in dense urban areas would be horrific. It would be terrible, General Milley added. Not inevitable. I'm going to correct you, BBC News. It is indeed inevitable. Just like Agent Smith says to Neo in the climax of the first Matrix film, it is inevitable. Hear that, Mr. Anderson? The sound of inevitability. The US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said the US was committed to helping Ukraine defend itself, including providing more weaponry. Isn't that just going to escalate shit? You know what? We don't want to go to war, so we're going to provide this country with more guns and bombs. Yeah, that's a real smart idea. That's Esau for you, man. Every solution for Esau involves this fucking sword. It says conflict is not inevitable. There is still time and space for diplomacy, Mr. Austin said, calling on Russian President Vladimir Putin to de-escalate the situation. There is no reason that the situation has to devolve into conflict. He can order his troops away, he added. Also on Friday, President Biden said he would send a small number of troops to Eastern Europe in the near term, to strengthen the NATO presence in the region. He did not specify where they would be stationed or when they would arrive. Earlier this week, the Pentagon said that there were 8,500 combat-ready troops on alert, ready to be deployed at short notice. Why isn't Germany... forget these questions. The US rejected key Moscow a key Moscow demand that NATO rule out Ukraine joining the defense alliance, but insisted it was offering Russia a serious diplomatic path. Russian President Vladimir Putin accused the West of ignoring Russia's security concerns, but he said he would study the US response before deciding what to do, according to a Kremlin readout of a call between Mr. Putin and his French counterpart. France said the two leaders had agreed on the need to de-escalate, and that it is President Emmanuel Macron that had told Mr. Putin that Russia must respect the sovereignty of its neighboring states. Don't create panic. The warnings from the Pentagon come after the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky told reporters not to create a panic over the build-up of Russian troops on his country's borders. At a news conference in Kiev, Mr. Zelensky said he did not see a greater threat now than during a similar massing of troops last spring. There are signals, even from the respected leaders of states, that they just say that tomorrow there will be war. This is panic. How much does it cost for our state? This destabilization of the situation inside the country was the biggest threat to the Ukraine, he said. Yeah, I don't want to hear no analysis by this dog-faced Edomite here. So I'm going to get to the scriptures. But basically, this is all heating up, man. Tensions are escalating. Let's get Joel, the 3rd chapter. Joel 3 from verse 1. Okay. Behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, Judah representing the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, Jerusalem representing the northern kingdom, headed up by Ephraim. Then you've got Gad, Reuben, Simeon, Zebulon, Asher, Manasseh. Have I missed anybody? Probably have. Issachar. Those are the northern kingdom. It says, I will gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. This is in the Hebrew is Yehoshaphat, which means Yahweh's judgment, right? And will plead there, meaning to judge, with them there for my people, who are the Lord's people, the Israelites, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered amongst the nation and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Yea, and what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. See, that's why this is all happening. All of these tensions are escalating for, first and foremost, the fulfillment of prophecy, and secondly, for the controversy of Zion, for what these nations have done unto the people of the Lord. It says, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place where you have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Judah, and shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for Yahweh hath spoken it. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. See, this is what we're in. These are the times we're in. Proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. You see, all these nations who America was able to bully before, because they didn't have the nuclear technology. Now a lot of these nations have got nuclear technology. So this is the weak saying, I am strong, because America, their might is waning. Their military might is waning, right? Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves round about, round about, thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit and judge all heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. So we're coming closer to that day of the Lord. You know, the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night. So the dark and terrible day of the Lord is hastening speedily and swiftly towards us, because this man Esau and his empire, it's on its last legs, man. It really is on its last legs. So there's only a few more prophecies to be fulfilled before Yahushua makes his return. And when Yahushua makes his return, that's it. It's a wrap. It's game over for Esau. No more flipping champagne and wine and all this kind of shit. It's only going to be chains and tears. Shackles, chains and tears for Esau, Edom. And hardcore slavery for 1,000 years to recompense what he has done unto the Lord's people. Because when you put your hand against the children of the Most High, you weren't just touching any old people, you were touching the apple of Yahweh's eye. So there's going to be a judgment for that. You know, render unto them double. For the cup they have filled, fill to them double, and they shall drink it down. Drink down the wrath of the wine of the wrath of the Most High. Right? It says, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Yahweh shall also roar out of Zion, and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. But the Lord, Yahweh, will be the hope of his people, which is us Israelites, and the strength of the children of Israel. So ye shall know that I am Yahweh your God, dwelling in Zion, which means monument, to Zion in the Hebrew, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no more stranger pass through her any more. And it shall come to pass in that day that the mountains shall drop new wine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and all the rivers of Judah shall flow with water. A fountain shall come forth from the house of Yahweh, and shall water the valley of Shittim. Egypt shall be a desolation, and what's America known as? Babylon the Great, spiritual Sodom in Egypt. And America is going to be destroyed, and no man, woman, or child is ever going to dwell in the landmass of America again. It's only going to be unclean animals and doleful creatures that are going to inhabit that place. It says, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. So who are the Edomites? Predominantly so-called white people on the face of the earth today. And what are we seeing? What are we seeing right now? Esau versus Esau. These Russians versus these Americans. You know, if Satan be divided against Satan, how can his house stand? And this is exactly what you're seeing. You're seeing these Edomites go to war with each other. And guess what? In the midst of all this chaos and tribulation, Yahushua is going to make his return, and he's going to destroy this place, right? We can't wait for that day. We say, Baba Kashai Yahweh Shem Yahushai, please come quickly, you know? Please come quickly. This is what we're waiting for. This is the hope of the elect, right? Egypt shall be a desolation. So it's like it. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. What do the scriptures say? Do not shed the blood, because blood defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, except by the blood of him that shed it. But Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem for generation to generation. Yeah, we're going to dwell forever, because we're going to be made immortal. Like Apostle Paul said, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, we shall all be changed. First, the elect are going to be changed, getting their spiritual bodies, and there's heavenly bodies and the spiritual powers. And then the rest of the nation of Israel is going to come back through the loins of the elect, and they're going to be all perfect and all righteous. So we're going to dwell forever. For I will cleanse the blood that I have not cleansed, for Yahweh dwelleth in Zion. So that's why this is all happening, and we're seeing these prophecies coming more and more and more manifested more and more as the days progress. So these are beautiful signs of the times. So that's just a quick update on what's going on there. I wanted to speak upon this at camp on Saturday, but the Spirit had it to where we went into other topics, so I'm just bringing this out now. So Lord willing, that was just a quick little edifying hit, a little faith booster, you know, that we see that the Lord's moving, man. The Lord's got us, man. He's moving and he's bringing about the destruction of this place. So with that, I want to give once again all praises, honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Sincere shalom to you, Akim, that are pushing this word around the globe with faith and truth and sincerity. And as always, shalom for now, and Lord's willing, I'll catch you on the next one. Shalom for now.